Good morning. So I was led to take a look at Abomination that makes desolate today in the Hebrew. Now that's found in Daniel 11:31. I just want to point out something incredibly interesting about this word desolate. What does it mean to make desolate? There is a mystery here. When we look at this word for desolate, we see shamim, and it means to stun, to be stunned, or to grow numb, okay? i.e. to devastate or stupefy. Okay, so here's that word again. What really caught my attention is this. This is the verb shama. Now this is desolate, to be appalled or to be stunned, right? Or to grow numb. Now this is to hear, shama, okay? So you've got the same letters, except for the last letter is different. This is the ayin, and it is the picture of the eye, or means to know, right? Now, this one, the mem, is the picture of the chaos, the water, and the blood. Now, these are also mems, okay? This is the mem form that it takes at the end of a letter, okay? At the end of a word. So this is mems, chaos, water, blood. And so this is the letter of Yehovah. This is the one letter, the shin is the one letter used to illustrate Yehovah. You'll find this letter on Jerusalem, on the map of Jerusalem, and on the map of your heart. Let me show you that. Okay, here is the map of Jerusalem. Here's the three valleys, okay? And you'll notice that it makes the shin, okay? Here is your heart, the bodily organ that you have in your body, also has a shin on it. Some of you have seen this before. So the shin stands for El Shaddai. Okay, so the letter shin stands for El Shaddai. And so this is the hand form that the priests would make as they would hold out their hands and give the priestly benediction over the people. Okay, so when we look at the shin, we also understand that it means teeth. And it means to sharpen and devour, okay? So these teeth are to sharpen you. The teeth of Yehovah are sharpening you. The understanding that you're getting from him is sharpening you, okay? Let's look at this again. Desolate, okay? So you've got the sharpening of the Father, and then you've got waters, blood, chaos, waters, blood, chaos. Double portion of waters, blood, and chaos. That is desolation. That is that word desolate, from the abomination that makes desolate, okay? This is shama, to hear. You've got the understanding, the sharpening teeth of the Father. You've got the blood, the waters and the blood. But what's different is you have the eye, you have the knowing, you have the understanding, because you've heard him, you're shamaing him. Shama means to hear and obey. Let's take a look at that. Right here in Deuteronomy 6:4 is the most famous shama, or hear, in Scripture. This is the Shema prayer. This is the prayer that Yeshua was quoting when he was asked, what are the two greatest commands in Scripture? He was quoting this section of Scripture, okay? And you'll notice that the mark is also mentioned here, the mark of the beast versus the mark of God. This is the mark of God. You shall bind what? The commandments, the commands that they're being told, you shall bind them as a sign on your hand, and they shall be as frontlets between your eyes. Your hand and your eyes. That is the mark of God. You shall write them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates, okay? So that is that word shema, which means to hear and obey. Let's look at the full definition of shema. It's to hear intelligently, not just hear it and ignore it, but hear it with the implication of attention and obedience, to take action. It is a call to action. What does it mean to keep commandments? Let's look at the word for keep. Only take care and keep your soul diligently, lest you forget the things that your eyes have seen. Remember, we had the eye in the Shema. Forget the things that the eyes have seen, the things that you know from the Shema, and lest they depart from your heart all the days of your life. Make them known to your children's children and your children's children. Okay? So he's talking about the commands here. So what is this keep? Keep is shamar. And this R is the picture of the head. So you're keeping them in your head. You're thinking about them intelligently, thus doing them. Okay? It's not just all about hearing them once and letting them go in one ear and out the other, but in doing them, you are keeping them. Let's do a review. In the desolate situation, the abomination that makes desolate, everyone is stunned and they no longer can pay attention. They've grown numb. Their hearts have grown cold and numb. Thus, you have things like desolation happening, which is the double portion of chaos, water, and blood. Okay? And to hear, to obey in shama means that you understand that these teeth are refining you. And you're going to walk in the commandments because you hear and obey and understand that the commandments are what teach you how to navigate the chaos and the waters, okay? And when you understand this, you understand that you are applying the blood and the water, the living waters of salvation, Yeshua, Yah's salvation to your life, okay? That is the picture being painted with hearing and knowing. Now, from then, you can understand the shamar, which is to keep, to guard, to hedge about. So you're putting a guard around the things that you shamad, the things that you know and you understand. You're putting a guard around them by keeping the guard up, okay? The protection up, which is the commandments. You're keeping the commandments. You're teaching them to your children. That is setting the guard, okay? To protect, to understand that you are protecting what you know, what Yah has shown you. So what abomination has made it so that people are stunned and they no longer can hear? There is something in Revelation 18 that could possibly speak to this. And the light of the lamp will shine in you no more. And the voice, you need a voice, you need to hear, you need to shama, in order to hear the voice of the bridegroom and the bride shall be heard in you no more. For your merchants were the great ones of the earth, and all the nations were deceived by your sorcery. Let's look up that word sorcery. Pharmakia. That is the Greek word. Sorcery is the Greek word for pharmakia. Let's look it up. Employment of drugs for any purpose. Sorcery, magic, enchantment. Drugs, pharmakia. What is this lamp that goes out? There are 7 spirits of Yehovah. These are the 7 spirits, and you'll notice that they make up the 7th branch of the lampstand. The lampstand lights up the temple. That's what the light of the temple is the lampstand. Now, there's also 7 feasts, 7 churches. 7 is the number of completion or a completed or full thing, okay? So to have all 7 spirits of God means that you have the entire fullness of the understanding of God. But for these people that were a part of Babylon, this city of Babylon, this light has gone out. That light is associated to the voice of the bridegroom and the bride, okay? So that light is the connection between hearing his voice. Shema, hear and obey his voice. That has gone out. Isaiah 11:1. This is where we find the 7 spirits of Yehovah. Now, all of these are on Yeshua. Yeshua had the full measure of the 7 spirits of Yehovah. And that's why it's said that there shall become a shoot from the stump of Jesse. That's Yeshua, the branch, okay? And the branch from his roots shall bear fruit. And the spirit of Yehovah shall rest upon him. The spirit of wisdom, understanding, the spirit of counsel and might, and the spirit of knowledge and fear of Yehovah. So in Daniel, it talks about the regular burnt offering. What is the regular burnt offering? That is the light in the temple. And the transgression of that makes desolate, that makes that regular burnt offering, the light in the temple go out, and then the sanctuary is being given over and going to be trampled. So they've profaned the temple. We don't have a temple other than our bodies right now. And shall take away the regular burnt offering, and shall set up the abomination that makes desolate, not being able to hear.